Hi guys, welcome to Nifty course. And as I've been always talking about it, on my YouTube channel, if you trade in Nifty, it's going to give you a regular source of income. And if you have joined this course, trust me, if you absolutely understand each and every finer nitty-gritty of this course, you don't have to look back. Stock market will be one place where you will earn money every single day, and that to be with least investment, right? But few things that I want you guys have to do, which I'm going to tell you later. You have to practice at least 1 month of paper trading, right? That is something you have to pledge right now, right? If you believe, you do the course, like now the videos are going to be recorded most of the times. You let's say in a day only you watch all the videos and think tomorrow onwards you'll start trading. Please take my words, you're learning for life, right? You go to college, how many years does it take? Good 14 years, because 12 years of your the college plus 2 years of your pre-schooling, 14 years, right? And then graduation, then post graduation. It takes time. How do you believe that watching these videos of roughly about 2 to 3 hours time can make you a perfect trader tomorrow? Trust me, you have to do first fine tune your eyes with the candlestick pattern. You have to fine tune your eyes with when the trade is coming. And you have to do paper trading. Once you have done 1 month of paper trading, you can be rest assured that you can trade like a trader. And after that, once you begin with once you do the paper trading for about good 1 month, what you have to do, trade with one lot of Nifty, right? Nifty futures or Nifty options, just one lot. I'm saying this as the first thing because please don't go overboard. Otherwise, losses also will be unbelievable, right? I believe you all are pledging with me. I'm not going to proceed my course until I get that written declaration from you that you will do 1 month of paper trading. 1 month you give me, and 1 month of one lot of Nifty. Third month onwards, you can make 5 lots, 10 lots, 20 lots. I don't care about it, right? So with this, let me begin and tell you what exactly lies ahead. So I'm going to be telling you what all Indian stock market indices are and Nifty in its constituent companies. I'll be telling you effect of stocks movement on Nifty, Nifty and its correlation with its sectorial indices, Nifty PE ratio and its interpretation, market cap and GDP ratio, India VIX index, factors that decide the Nifty movement, and then we will be giving you a lot of research to be done at home, which is related with the Nifty movement, historical price, PE ratio, historical data about its range, and the PE ratio. Then I'll be teaching you important candlestick pattern and their interpretation. I'll be doing this in two to three, 4 videos, as many as I could, maybe repetitive, but just to fine tune you, watch them as many times as you can. Then comes the supports and the resistances, then special StockPro setup. Next will be how to read option data and how to trade in Nifty futures, how to trade in Bank Nifty options, and then how to trade in Nifty options, profitable Nifty strategies, and then I'll be giving you live examples. Right? This is how the entire course will go by. So, the first part is your learning part. Till this, today probably will, in this lecture, probably I'll cover up 2-3 topics here. So, like this, entire, a course will grow. But I want you to watch at least every day. Like it'll take you 2 to 3 hours to watch the whole course. And maybe you can skip the initial part. Like what I would request you people to watch, the later part every day before you trade. Before you trade, like this part you have to watch every day. Candlestick patterns, support resistance, StockPro setup, option data, Nifty futures, how to trade it with Nifty options, how Nifty strategies. This is what I would like to repeat every day for the 1 month, right? So that everything is engraved in your brain, right? So with this, I will start. So let's go on, and we start with our program. So first and foremost, let me take you to a sheet here. So Indian stock market has basically nowadays two main, indexes. I hope you understand indexes. Indexes basically reflect a country's economy. Whether the economy is going up or the economy is going down, that is reflected by the indexes. So India has two indexes, Sensex and Nifty, right? Please remember, in these two indexes, we don't trade, right? These are just the indexes. They're just the reflection of Indian economy. Sensex is made up of top 30 companies. Nifty is made up of top 50 companies. Plus, like there are, what happens. I'm going to show you all the details about it. Now, the trading is done in few of the, indexes. So Nifty cash, we don't trade. We trade in Nifty futures. We trade in Bank Nifty, Nifty IT. We trade in Nifty Infra, Nifty CPSE, Nifty Mid 50, and Nifty PSE. These are the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 indexes in which we trade, right? We don't trade in Nifty, but we trade in Nifty futures, right? We don't trade at all in Sensex. Please remember, many people ask me, why do you always talk about Nifty? Why not Sensex? Because Sensex is just an index, right? If you don't trade in it, it actually has no meaning, like it has a meaning with respect to how was it 10 years back and how is it today. But if you ask me, for traders, the most important entity is Nifty, right? And then Nifty has its sub sectors also, like Nifty Pharma, Nifty Reality, Nifty IT, Nifty Media, Nifty FMCG, all those. But on those, again, we don't trade. We trade only in these 7 of the indexes. So now what we will do, we'll just understand what all these sectors, what all these have, like these indexes, what all they are made up of. I'm going to come back to the last in Nifty and Bank Nifty, but let's go through what all does, these comprises of. So Nifty PSE basically is, here it says the Nifty PSE index comprises of companies in which 51% of outstanding share capital is held by the central government, right? And see how the energy is basically 69%, metal is 14.4%, and all these companies are basically government companies, SAIL, NMDC, Coal India, National Aluminium, Power Grid, etc. You can go through the entire list, right? So you can just go through the entire list and you can find out. So I'm going to come back to this point only where I was sharing with you people. So energy is the biggest, distribution sector which has the highest distribution: metal, finances, services, industrial manufacturing, and construction, right? And you can go through, and it's traded in futures as well as in the option, right? So, and then Nifty CPSE. Let's see what holds in. Nifty CPSE index is constructed in order to facilitate Government of India's initiative to disinvest some of its stake in the selected CPSE. And what is it made up of? Once again, it's made up of energy, metals, financial services, industrial manufacturing, services, and construction, right? And then, similarly, I would request you people to find out what all is there in each of these, indexes. What is there in Nifty Mid 50? What is there in Nifty Infra? What is there in Nifty IT? And what is there in Bank Nifty? I'm going to take in detail what is there in Nifty, right? Because that is what our course is all about. So let's go and talk about Nifty. So just write on your Google's browser Nifty and its constituent companies. Nifty and its constituent companies. So, I really like this one. It's basically Sana Securities. How they have given it is basically, it looks very, attractive to me. So I refer to this particular graph. So Nifty is basically, made up of 50 companies. full list of 50 companies. So let's go through one by one the whole thing. Financial services is about 35.29%. And then we have automobiles, roughly about 9.34%. Then big ones are cigarettes is about 5.6%, IT is about 12.58%, consumer goods 3.46, engineering 4.01, media is 0.76, metal is 4.68, energy is 14.96, pharma is basically 3.79, shipping is 0.77, telecom is 2.07, and agrochemicals is about 0.66, and auto ancillaries is about 0.42. Right? So this is how the companies are decided. And let's run through the whole companies also. Cigarette, there's only one company in Indian stock market, or no, rather I wouldn't say cigarette in the stock market, but in Nifty, which is ITC, and it's a pretty heavyweight. I'll explain you when I say heavyweight, what does it really mean. So ITC is a company which has quite a heavy weightage in the Nifty. It's about 5.59. Now then we have pharmaceuticals. So pharmaceuticals, we have Cipla, Dr. Reddy, Lupins, and pharmaceutical Aurobindo Pharma. In information technology, we have HCL Technology, Infosys, TCS, Tech Mahindra, Wipro. In Siemens, we have Ambuja Cements and Ultratech Cement. In automobiles, we have Bajaj Auto, Bosch, Hero MotoCorp, Mahindra & Mahindra, Maruti, Suzuki, Eicher Motors, Tata Motors. And financial services, we have Axis Bank, HDFC, ICICI Bank, IndusInd Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, State Bank of India, Yes Bank, Bajaj Finance, HDFC, Indiabulls Housing. Right? These are the ones which are dominating in the financial services. Metals, we have Coal India, Hindalco, Tata Steel, Vedanta. Energy, we have BPCL, HPCL, GAIL, IOC, NTPC, ONGC, Power Grid, Reliance Industries. In telecom, we have Bharti Airtel, Bharti Infratel. In consumer goods, we have Asian Paints, Hindustan Unilever. Construction, we have Larsen & Toubro. And media and entertainment, we have Zee Entertainment. Shipping, we have Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone, only one single company. And agrochemicals, we have UPL Limited. This has been just added up, right? So see here, I want you to once again run through the whole, list with me. We want to figure out which are the heavyweights. Look at ITC. It's a heavyweight. Its weightage is quite dominating in Nifty. Infosys is a heavyweight, 5.79%. TCS is also a dominating one. And then let's go further down. See here, these are all fine, not very, very heavy. But if you look into their own segment, Maruti is a dominating one, roughly about 3%. Then Axis Bank, not really. ICICI Bank is roughly about 5%, and HDFC Bank plus HDFC put together is about 18%, right? It's a very, very 17%. HDFC Bank and HDFC put together is about 17%. Very, very heavy dominating factor, right? So when I say dominating and heavyweight, I have a certain meaning behind it. I'll just teach you. Look at Reliance Industries, 8.13%. Larsen & Toubro, 4%. Right? So what does heavyweights really mean? Right? You can make a list of heavyweights. Which are the companies? So if I have to make a list here, let me make a list here for you. Heavyweights. Heavyweights. Oh. I need to take it a bigger this thing. So, okay, let me just write down like that only. Maybe I'll take a bigger font. And the heavyweights are basically Reliance, HDFC, Bank, HDFC. Then we had, what are the other companies that we figured out? We have Infosys, we have ITC, Infosys, and Larsen & Toubro, Infosys, L&T, L&T, sorry, L&T and ICICI Bank. These are heavyweights, right? So as I've been telling in my YouTube videos also, that sometime, these companies, basically the heavyweights, dominate, the movement of Nifty. So sometime, suppose there is a, the result of HDFC is going to be out, or let's say Reliance result is going to be out, or Infosys result is going to be out. Like very recently, yesterday, the day before, Infosys result has been declared, and it's not supposed to be very good. So what I believe, if Infosys goes down, on any of the trading day, let's say Infosys opens gap down by 5%, or let's say 3%, then what will be the weightage of that in the market, right? So let me just explain you. These heavyweights actually tells you a lot about how the market will be moving. So let's say Infosys goes down by 3%, right? Let's say this is 3%, 3 upon 100. And the weightage of this, I'm going to take roughly 6%. So 5.679, I'm taking as 6%. And let's say for our convenience, the value of Nifty right now is 10,000, right? Let's say the value of Nifty is right now 10,000. Just for the convenience, you take exact value, what you want to. This goes away, right? And you get how many points? How many points in the Nifty? If it opens gap down, then there will be minus 18 points. In entire Nifty, how much variation will this stock bring about? Minus of 18 points, right? So this is one stock. It's not necessary that all the stocks will go down, right? There may be some going up, some going down. So let's take up another example. Let's say Infosys is a IT stock, right? But suppose we talk about, let's say, HDFC Bank, the banking sector. Let's say there's a good news about banking sector on the same very day. How HDFC Bank is going to react to that, or how the banking sector will react. In all, banking sector is about 33 or 34%, right? If there is a good news, it's going to reflect in all the banking sectors. So let's say 33% weightage is of all these banking stocks, and let's say the banking sector is roughly about 2% up because of the good news, right? Something, let's say the rate of interest has gone down, or something, I don't know what, or some kind of a good 10,000, right? Now this goes away, this goes away, this goes away, this goes away. How much do you get? You get 66 points here, right? Because of banking sector, you got plus 66 point. Because of Infosys, you got minus 18 points. So you will find out the weighted average of it, and you will calculate. Now when I multiply the weightage into the change in the percentage, I get the weighted values, right? Weighted average values. So that means if I subtract it, I'm going to get, so this is going to be 8, and this is going to be 48 points is what I'm going to get. Fine. So this is how you will figure out how much Nifty is going to move. You must know about it. Why am I saying so? I will teach you in a minute. I'm just going to pause the video for a minute, and I will explain it to you once again. Till then, you just grasp it, find out the various percentages. Let's say ICICI Bank, right? If there is a news, you remember there was a news in the ICICI Bank, so how much will this movement, how much will be the movement? Let's say there is a bad NPA in ICICI Bank. Its weightage is roughly about 5%. So what you do, let's say the ICICI Bank is trading 10% down, 3% down into 10,000, and see how does it affect the Nifty. This and this goes away, and you have to take the actual value. Like I'm taking just for a convenience, I'm taking 10,000. You have to take the correct value. So 15 points will be subtracted because of ICICI Bank. Now I'm going to take you and show you a practical example where it has actually happened, So one of the example that I have with me is ITC. So let me take you to ITC. I don't know how many of you remember, there was, just after um, just after the GST application, one day, because of the excise was increased, or GST was increased on it, it opened gap down. Can you see from where to where? It opened from 325 to it opened at roughly 292. I would say this is roughly 10% down, right? So let's calculate how much will it, affect the Nifty. So what's the weightage of ITC on this day? 5.59. Let's take for our convenience 6%. Let's take 6%. 6%. And how much did it open gap down? 10%, right? And how much, let's take, I'm just taking a rough value so that our calculation is, comfortable rather than making it complicated for you people. So this goes away, this goes away, this goes away, this goes away. So how much did it affect on Nifty? Minus 60 points, right? Can you see the effect of this particular stock on Nifty? Now, this is one stock, but there must be many stocks which will be in the uptrend, right? Which could have been benefited by GST. So let's go back here and see what was happening on that day in Nifty. This day is basically 18th of July 2017. So let's see what happened on 18th of July in Nifty. So let's see what happened on that particular day. So where is Nifty? July, this is February, March, May, here, somewhere here. 5th July here, see here. This is somewhere 14th here. I'm going to take a pen and I will draw the lines for you. So see here, this is the 13th, this is 13th, 14th, ये 17th है, right? You see the gap down opening it had? How many points did it open gap down? You can see from here, good about, this is 80 points. It opened gap down by 80 points, right? You can see the reflection. Of course, with ITC, there are some other stocks which basically open gap down. And that reflection, you can see how Nifty opened gap down, right? So this is exactly same way that you see the reflection of, each heavyweight in Nifty. You should be aware of it. How much can it change the direction of Nifty, right? Then you will be able to, like, for the past few days, I'm talking about in the month of April, for the past 10 days, IT sector is going up, right? Whether you look into Mindtree, you look into HCL Tech, you look into Infosys, you look into NIT Tech, you look into Tata Global or TCS, each of them is going up, right? So the reflection of that also comes into Nifty. So as I say again and again on my YouTube channel, sometimes Nifty is positive and it uplifts the stock. Sometimes stocks become positive and they uplift the Nifty, right? So it goes both ways. Sometimes Nifty lifts up the stock, sometimes stocks lift up the Nifty. Now in recent scenario, it is the IT stocks which have been taking Nifty up, right? So I want you people to calculate and keep a good record of what's happening in each company. Whenever there is a result season, please, find out how each company is behaving. Now let's go and see one thing. Let's see what's happening. Now, please remember one thing before I go on anywhere. The return of Nifty compounded is very, very good. If you consider the inflation and CAGR means you don't withdraw money for about 5 years from Nifty, it comes out to be roughly about 19%. And it's a very, very huge return, right? Believing index fund is the cheapest fund. So I hope you guys know how do you trade in Nifty. So let me explain you. Nifty, if you want to trade in cash, you can't trade in cash. You invest in Nifty, you trade in Nifty futures. Remember that. Investment is done in Nifty and trading is done in Nifty futures. How do you invest in Nifty? There are various ways. One is that you invest through the ETF or Nifty Bs, or you can invest, through the mutual funds. These are the ways you invest in Nifty. And the best ways to go about Nifty mutual funds, and that to be the direct. And I can suggest you one Nifty direct fund is IDFC mutual fund. That gives you, least cost and you get the good returns from that. So what happens, why is it advised to, invest in the, index funds? Because the best companies will be added again and again in the, Nifty 50, and the companies which are not performing good will be removed. So see here on April 2nd, Ambuja Cement has been removed, Oro Pharma has been removed, Bosch has been removed. What have been added up? Bajaj Finserv and Grasim Industries, right? So what I'm trying to tell you here, the worst performing companies will always be removed from Nifty and the best performing companies will be added up here. So if you want to invest in Nifty, which is supposed to be the best investment, go through a mutual fund, buy Nifty 20, Nifty Bs, or buy ETF. These are the three ways. And even, even the mutual funds, how do they invest in Nifty? They have a robotic buying in the same percentage each and every company. Let's say they have 10 lakh rupees. So they will put, let's say 100 lakhs rupees. So they'll put 5.56 lakhs in ITC, 0.74 lakhs in Cipla, 0.67 lakhs in Dr. Reddy, and so on and so forth. That's how the mutual funds also invest in Nifty. So for us, it's impossible to do that. It's a robotic one. So there is least amount of, expenses over here in the mutual funds. So what you can do is join a mutual fund. It's a very, very good investment. Suppose you're wanting to create a mutual fund and investment for your, with a certain horizon, let's say for your child's education or the marriage or, anything, just start an just start buying ETF, Nifty Bs, or you can open up a SIP in Nifty, mutual funds. So let's read about these facts about Nifty. Financial services and information technology contribute roughly about 50% to the overall weightage. You see here financial services, and this is IT services. Roughly, see, I'm considering 2%, I'm not caring much, but it's 50% of the overall weightage. There are 5 pharmaceutical companies, and India is amongst the biggest pharmaceutical exporter in the world, right? Of all things, cigarettes still have a dominant weightage in the pie. No modern day e-commerce business finds place in Nifty. Compare this with the US, where Facebook, Amazon, eBay, and Yahoo are all part of NASDAQ 100. The breakup of these companies hardly showcases India as a developing economy. Construction and cement put together contribute only 5.54. Energy and power is about 15%. And then 7 out of 10 financial services companies are private sector bank. Consider the fact that there are 24 listed public sector banks and only 16 listed private sector banks. This is significantly different than how things were a decade back. So this is Nifty's constituent companies. Be aware of it and know about it. And one thing also I want to tell you, that if you want to check what's happening in the Nifty indexes, you must be aware of the nscindia.com. This is the website, nscindia.com. Come here, go to the live market, go to the index, right? You get to see all the indexes, what's happening in each of the index. Nifty 50, Nifty Next 50, Nifty 100, Nifty 200, Nifty 500, Mid Cap 50, Mid Cap 100, Small Cap 100, India Wix, Bank Nifty, Auto, all the sectors you can see out here, right? And you know the weightage of various things, and just looking at the percentage change you can make out what's going to happen in the Nifty, right? By looking at the percentage change in each of the sector, you can make out what may lie ahead in Nifty. So let me just go back and see what all have we covered. So let's just go back here and see. We have checked, what is Indian stock market and indices, Nifty and its constituent company, effect of stocks movement on Nifty, right? Now, next topic that I'm going to begin will be Nifty and its correlation with its sectorial indices, right? So this video I'm stopping here. Watch out for the next video. Hope for the best, and let's go ahead.